the Houston branch. Shout out to all the schools that's preaching and teaching this word in sincerity and truth. VA, Rochester, San Antonio, Albuquerque, and all the many of other brothers across the four corners of the earth that is spreading the truth. We thank you for joining. We do have a couple announcements. We got the Passover coming up. High Holy Day, Passover coming up. As I know, we're going to be celebrating it individually in our states on the 31st? On the 31st, which is next week, Tuesday, right? So we're going to be commemorating the Passover here in our individual states, and then we're going to do the second Passover collectively. So that will be May 2nd? May 2nd. So mark your calendars. You're here in Houston, come by, congregate the High Holy Day. Scriptures commands us to gather together. But guess what? Just because it's a commandment don't mean you have to. So if you don't want to and you choose not to be a part of our camp or what the Most High has going on, well, by all means, do you. Do you. And keep doing you, and let's see how that works out. Matter of fact, we'll see how it works out in the end. Because it won't seem like nothing right now. But in the end is when it all catches up to you. When them books is open, the scrolls are open, that book of life is opened up. And they're like, what have you done for me? Matter of fact, let's grab a quick scripture. What's that, Matthew? Was it Matthew 24? I clothed you, fed you. No, it's 25. Let's read it through real quick. Matthew 25 and 34.
Matthew chapter 25, verse 34. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, Come ye, blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungered, and you gave me meat.
Go ahead.
I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. Naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came unto me. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee and hunger, and fed thee, or thirsty, and gave thee drink? When saw we that a stranger, and took thee in, or naked, and clothed thee? Or when saw we thee sick, or in prison, and came unto thee? And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me.
Yeah, so the least thing that you've done to the nation, to your brother, to your sister, the least you've done to him, the most you did to your brother, your nation, the most you did to Christ. And then he has for the ones that don't like to do things, right? And I told you, I said, it's okay, do you. Read on.
Verse 41. Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels.
Why? Read.
For I was an hunger, and ye gave me no meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me not in. Naked, and ye clothed me not. Sick, and in prison, and ye visited me not. Then shall they also answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee and hunger, or athirst, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister unto thee? Then shall he answer them, saying, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye did it not to one of the least of these, ye did it not to me. And these shall go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into life eternal.
Yeah, so that's the parallel. The parallel for the ones that, want to serve the Most High in sincerity and heart and joyfulness and do the things that He commands us to do, willingly, wanting to do it, and then the ones that just prefer to do their own thing, do what they want to do. The results. The Bible is flawless. The Bible, when I say it's flawless, like the prophecies have been coming to pass. So, go ahead and you pick. No guilt trip, just letting you know, being a brother, warning you. But other than that, we got a good class set up for you today. It has nothing to do with the class. Very good class.
Yeah, so we're gonna finish, but we're gonna go into the part 2 of the class we started last week, dealing with being a companion or being an underling to a foolish man or woman. And we touched on a few things. One sec. We touched on a few things. We touched on a few things. What was the main scripture?
Proverbs. We went to Proverbs 4 and 7, Matthew 15:14.
What was the main?
The main one, 15. I think it was Matthew 15 and 12.
The main scripture.
Yeah, Ecclesiastes 4 and 27.
Ecclesiastes 4 and
Yeah.
27. Somebody read Ecclesiastes 4 and 27.
Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 27. Make not thyself an underling to a foolish man, neither accept the person of the mighty.
Right, go ahead.
Strive for the truth.
Right, so we were going over making yourself an underling, a servant, right? A servant in a moral sense. Serving a foolish man, you're gonna serve his morals, right? What else? Go ahead.
Verse 28. Strive for the truth unto death.
No, and it says, and receive not the person of the mighty.
Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 27.
Right.
Make not thyself an underling to a foolish man.
Right.
Neither accept the person of the mighty.
Right, and that goes into men pleasing, right? Holding men in admiration, and like we went into James, the 2nd chapter, I believe, and he went into the comparison about the man with the good apparel as opposed to the man that looks lowly. Who are you going to accept? And we bounced over into Ecclesiastes, talking about how when a rich man is in need, everyone is ready to jump and help. But a poor man, when he's falling, they'll help push him down because he's poor or because he looks a certain way. So, we touched on those scriptures, and we just went into a few other things about what it meant to be an underling to a foolish man. So, this next class, I think I gave y'all the title, right?
The companion fools.
Well, I think I said it. I said I was going to touch on
I think why come
the psychology of following why men compromise and follow bad leaders.
yeah, that
Yeah, so you could title this The Psychology of Following. Why Men Compromise and Follow Bad Leadership. And so we're gonna dive into this one. Oh, my man. Yes, sir. Tea for your life. We're gonna dive into this one and examine a few historical accounts through the Bible of why men and women compromise and follow, either allow themselves to be an underling to a foolish man or are the foolish man, right? We're gonna go through the different scenarios of why these things happen, because there's reasons, right? There's reasons why men follow foolish men. Can anybody think of one? And it's something that it's something that we've all succumbed to. They talked about it in school, as you were a kid, right?
The people you're around.
Okay, what about the people that you're around?
I mean,
What?
well, if they got bad habits, and if you're around them, you tend to pick up their bad habits.
Okay, yeah, the scriptures say if you walk with a foolish man, if you walk with a fool, you become a fool. If
Yeah.
you walk with a wise, you become a wise. Yeah, so we know by proxy of just being in proximity
Yeah.
to different types of people. You got it? Did I send it? We know that just being around people, you're gonna pick up habits, right? But let's think a little bit more. Let's think about a little bit more in depth of, you may not want to do certain things, but you do them. Why? Remember, we're compromising here. Why do men compromise themselves? What?
For personal gain.
Okay, so personal gain. That's one. That's a good one. Right? I just want y'all to kind of name a few. Even y'all in the chat. Chat lives do matter. So y'all in the chat, why do people compromise themselves to follow? Why, I'm gonna say bad leaders, but we could say bad examples, right? But you know why I'm sticking to leaders, because leadership comes in many forms. It could be your parents, it could be your family member, somebody older than you. Why do people follow and compromise to follow them, compromise themselves to follow bad leadership? So he said personal gain, yes. Peer pressure is another one, right? Peer pressure is another one. And we're gonna go through all of these. Itching ears. Like the scriptures talk about having itching ears, right? And the fear of men. The fear of men, right? What else? And just being pragmatic, meaning I'm just going to do things that are convenient for the time. It doesn't matter what's been laid down, it doesn't matter what's set up. These are the circumstances, and I'm not gonna try to fight around the circumstances. That's being pragmatic. Right, so let's deal with that. Let's deal with pragmatism. You want me to spell it? Pragmatism. And did they put anything in line?
Law.
Oh, we ain't got no crowd participation today? Yeah, must be a Wednesday. Must be a Wednesday. Said no participato today. No participato. Let's see. They're like, nah, we ain't participating today. We ain't doing that. Damn, I can't for some reason. Can't see the chat. I don't know why. Nobody else put anything?
Somebody asked what was the question.
What was the question?
So, yeah,
The
somebody.
question is, somebody tell them what the question is. It might be me, I might be dragging today. What was the question that I was asking? Come on.
Why do people follow bad leadership?
Yeah, why do people compromise? Compromise and allow themselves to follow bad leadership. Remember, we spoke about last week, following things that go against your own spirit, right? Did we pull those scriptures about doing things that go against your own spirit, following people that go against your own spirit? You know that it's wrong. You know that you have that spider sense of, I shouldn't do this, but you say, it doesn't matter, I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna just follow it anyway, even though it's off. Because you're looking at what? Who it's coming from, right? Mainly it's who it's coming from. So why is the question, do we allow ourselves to do these things, or why does these things happen?
I got one.
Yeah, what you got?
Because this person has a good track record in other areas.
Okay.
So like, he gives good advice and sound wisdom and good instructions on one aspect or one front. But so then you like, well, he might be good with this too. Like he's good with wisdom and a very understanding person, but then he has the financial decisions. And you're like, well, if he was good in this, he might be pretty good with finances too.
Right. So you because a person is good in one area, you assume that they're gonna be the same in every area, which that could be true in certain situations, and it could be very damning in other situations. Because knowing that Christ is black don't fit everywhere.
Nope.
You see, that don't fit every problem. Well, he can break down Revelations 1 and 12 real good. Doesn't mean he's a good counselor. Doesn't mean he's wise. Doesn't mean his application of other scenarios is on point. He just understands Revelation 1 and 12 very, very good. Right? And so it's about being able, remember we went into discerning the people you're around, like being able to look at the people you're around and see if their words match up with their actions. So you'd have to discern whether or not this person is good in these different areas before you just lay it all at their feet.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So first place I want to go, let's see here, because they don't want to be held accountable. Yep, that's one. Why would someone follow that leader? Okay, you put that in there. What was the question? Okay, so he probably just, they want to be accepted, probably do it for financial gain or get something out of the situation. Yeah. Because they don't want to be, a lot of people follow what fits their lifestyle. Some things they don't want to be accountable for, so if leadership is not bringing it out, they're good. Yeah, that's basically being pragmatic. It fits for the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like 1 minute he was straight, then the next he was gay.
Oh no.
And he was like, well, I did it because that was cool at the time. Y'all didn't hear about the guy. Y'all didn't hear about the guy that because he had 2 slip discs in his back and his son was sick.
Oh yeah,
That
yeah.
he went out and was fellatioing guys.
I said something about that in class.
Yeah, like it was dope at the time.
Whoa.
Yo, it was hot at the time. Like Hey,
That's some Navy stuff right there.
that's some Navy stuff. You were in the Navy, now you gotta explain it. So because y'all on the
saying
boat,
is it's queer on the pier,
whoa,
but it's not gay underway.
dang.
Dang, that's a saying, huh?
Oh, man.
So it's not gay when you're on the boat.
Yeah, we in the sea.
Yeah, when
Out
so,
the sea, it's not gay.
so them niggas on the Gerald Ford, that Gerald Ford aircraft carrier that been out to sea for 300 days,
Oh man,
they could do a bunch of filth and it's not nothing.
it ain't
Not
gay.
gay.
But as soon as they dock,
It's gay.
it's
Oh,
gay.
golly.
See, but that's what I'm saying.
Whoa.
That's pride. That's being pragmatic. It's good for the time. It fits the need, and then it can change up at any moment. That's wild. Okay, I've never heard that.
Yeah, that's
It's
perfect.
not queer on the pier. It's queer on the pier and not gay in the way.
Underway.
Not gay underway, because we're underway.
Kind
See, that's your American Navy.
Man.
That's your Navy about to go fight Iranians that are staunch homophobes. Right? So, that's crazy. Chat disconnected. Unable to connect chat. Please try again later. Anyway, I don't know why it's doing that. It'll get back. Sometimes it depends on where in life you have given up. And you see this person may have something that looks good, but not much, and you look at one thing and your life is going so well. Looking at other people's lives, looking at their circumstances. Did it cut off?
No. You want it on airplane mode?
Yeah. It's already on. Well, it's already on. Yeah. Sure. Why is it? Right, man pleasing. Right, so let's go into it. Let's go into Samuel's. Let's go to 1 Samuel 13 and verse 11. Let's go to 1 Samuel 13 and verse 11. And let's just deal with one of the reasons why men allow themselves to fall as an underling to a foolish man or to foolish men, right? Read that.
Book of 1 Samuel, chapter 13 and verse 11.
Might have to jump up a little bit. 1 Samuel, because we all know the story, but just for a little context, let's see. 1 Samuel 13. This is where the Philistines were coming to fight Saul. Samuel told him to wait. I'm gonna come through, make the offering.
Yep.
Just be still. Just wait till I get there. Right? So chapter 13, verse let's see here. 5.
13 and verse 5. And the Philistines gathered themselves together to fight with Israel, 30,000 chariots and 6,000 horsemen, and people as the sand which is on the seashore in multitude. And they came up and pitched in Michmash, eastward from Bethaven. When the men of Israel saw that they were in a strait, for the people were distressed, then the people did hide themselves in caves.
Okay, go ahead.
And in thickets, and in rocks,
Go ahead.
and in high places, and in pits. And some of the Hebrews went over Jordan to the land of Gad and Gilead. As for Saul, he was yet in Gilgal, and all the people followed him trembling.
Right. Read verse 8.
And he tarried 7 days,
Uh-huh.
according to the set time that Samuel had appointed.
Right. Because Samuel appointed Saul to wait 7 days and I'll be there. I'm going to make a sacrifice and then we go to war. Let's give it to the Most High first. Let's acknowledge him. Let's see what he wants us to do and then we'll go out and fight. Go ahead.
But Samuel came not to Gilgal, and the people were scattered from him.
Right.
And Saul said, bring hither a burnt offering to me, and peace offerings. And he offered the burnt offering.
Go ahead.
And it came to pass that as soon as he had made an end of offering the burnt offering, behold, Samuel came. And Saul went out to meet him, that he might salute him.
Right.
And Samuel said, what hast thou done? And Saul said, because I saw that the people were scattered from me.
Right. So because of the circumstance, the people were scattered. They were scared. I was being pragmatic. I went with the circumstance. So this goes into two things. This goes into the fear of man, but also it goes into being pragmatic, doing things for the moment. Go ahead.
And that thou camest not within the days appointed.
Well, obviously he did. He just didn't come on the seventh day when you liked him to come. And you got nervous and you got scared. And so what did you allow yourself to do? Go ahead.
And that the Philistines gathered themselves together at Michmash. Therefore said I, the Philistines will come down now upon me to Gilgal.
Go ahead.
And I have not made supplication unto the Lord. I forced myself, therefore.
I did what?
I forced myself.
I did what?
I forced myself.
Go ahead.
Therefore, and offered a burnt offering.
Yeah, and a lot of the times what will happen is because you're trying to force things, right? The circumstances dictating, and then you force yourself into a position that you technically don't belong in, right? You have no place in, and now you become the fool, right? And then the ones that follow you are the underling. Or if a man is doing this and forcing himself into a position and you're following, you're doing what? You're allowing yourself to follow a foolish man. So all the men that followed Saul would have been what? The fools or the underlings?
The underlings?
They would have been the underlings. Saul would have been the foolish man. So as we go through these different stories, because there's a lot of stories we're going to go through, right? We're going to be in Samuel's, we're going to be in Kings, a lot of history. As we go through these stories, we're going to see that there's always a fool and an underling. There's a fool and an underling. Somebody's falling to something foolish, right? Because they're compromising themselves into this position, right? So being pragmatic. What's the next one? Let me see here. The next one, this one's easy. It's peer pressure. Peer pressure. Sometimes you're pressured into just following, right? And I look at it like this, man. A person that's moving in wisdom, they don't have to pressure you into following. There shouldn't be a pressure. It shouldn't be you gotta follow me. If you don't get on this train, a person of wisdom is gonna drop the word. They're gonna plant or they're gonna water and they're gonna move on. Christ didn't peer pressure the people to follow him. Peter, when Paul recognized that, you know what, this city's against us, he dusted off his feet and went to the next city. He said, because you reject the word, we're gonna bring it to these men. But there wasn't a peer pressure. It wasn't a sales trick. It wasn't the boiler room. Right? He wasn't one of those salesmen that you watch a late night TV and that infomercial comes on. Right? A lot of these people are infomercials. They got all this info, all these reasons why, and they pressure the situation. And the scriptures tell us not to be excessive towards anyone, towards any situation, towards anyone, right? So peer pressure, just our peers. And what is really peer? What is when you look at peer pressure? What is it really? Isn't it just not wanting to be looked at in a negative light by your peers? So you let their opinion override what you feel you should really do, and you go with what they're saying, whether it be right or wrong. That's all it really is peer pressure. Your peers putting you under pressure to do something that may not necessarily fit your spirit or fit the situation.
There's a question.
What's the question?
The question is from Yashkar. He said, how would Saul's men be able to remove themselves under Saul as his subordinates without disobeying?
Well, what is there to obey if Saul was doing something out of the spirit? So, remember, it wasn't his men that did anything foolish. It was Saul. What's the point? It wasn't his men. His men already kind of ran off, right? And yes, who's going to go against the king? We read that in Proverbs, right? Who's going to go against the king? He's like a roaring lion. He could do this. He could do that. Yeah. So it's a hard situation, but we're not in them times where you got one king that rules over everything and he can just have his way. Because at the end of the day, the point is to stand up for righteousness. Who will stand up for me against the evildoers and the workers of iniquity? Right? Because you don't read about anybody saying, hey Saul, you shouldn't burn that because that's not your place. You don't hear nobody saying that. Right? Somebody could have stood up. Even with David, when David was checking out Bathsheba, and he was like, go get me that woman down there. Didn't somebody let her know, hey, that's Uriah the Hittite's wife? Didn't somebody let him know?
Done.
Yeah. It was known to him in his ears that, hey, that is the wife of Uriah the Hittite. So did somebody have to say to him, hey, David, don't sleep with her?
No.
No.
No, right?
No.
Because they said to him, hey, that's the wife of Uriah the Hittite. So it should have been in David's mind not to lay with her. Right? All somebody had to say was Saul, that's the priest's job. That's the job of the priest. But you don't read about anybody going against him. But that goes into it too. Think about it. The type of men that Saul chose were men that they were about being fools and being underlings. Because we're gonna read more about Saul in another point. So really to answer the question, the people that Saul chose, they weren't gonna go against him anyway. Because he didn't choose men of wisdom and knowledge and men that were upright in the spirit. He chose men of beauty. He chose men of stature physically, right? He chose the big men to protect him, his bodyguards. He didn't choose wisdom. He didn't choose anybody that was going to stand up. So that wouldn't have been the case with Saul anyway. Let's deal with peer pressure. Go to 1 Kings. First, go to Exodus. Go to Exodus 23 and verse 2. So we're dealing with peer pressure. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about all the reasons why men and women allow themselves to follow blindly bad leaders. Whether that leader be a parent, a guardian, spiritual leader, because you have bad spiritual leaders. Let's just be real. You have terrible spiritual leaders out there, right? You have terrible spiritual leaders. They're not really that spiritual, and they lead people astray. I mean, even the Most High said the leaders of His people caused them to err, and those were the spiritual leaders. So you have bad spiritual leaders. You have bad custodial leaders, parents, guardians, aunts, uncles, grandmas, teachers, right? There's bad leadership, and there's reasons why people choose to follow them. Peer pressure. Read Exodus 23 and verse 2.
Look at Exodus chapter 23 and verse 2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil. Neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment.
Right, so it's letting you know, don't follow the multitude. Don't follow your peers and be pressured into doing evil. And don't allow your peers to get you to the point where now you're resting judgment. You're judging for hire. You're judging for gain. You're judging because there's something that you can get on the back end if you skew this judgment. A couple of people come to you and they threaten you. Who was it? Delilah? Was it Delilah? Where the men of the city came to her and said, if you don't tell us Samson's strength, we're gonna kill you, your father and you. They peer pressured her. I don't have that in here, but that's a good instance. They peer pressured her, right? And they weren't necessarily her peers because they were above her, but they used a peer pressure tactic, right? Yeah, we all gonna kill your daddy and kill your mama and your family and them if you don't tell us Samson's strength. And so what did she do? She succumbed to the pressure. She followed a multitude to do evil and to wrest judgment. Go to 1 Kings 12 and verse 1.
First Kings chapter 12 verse 1. And Rehoboam went to Shechem, where all Israel were come to Shechem to make him king.
Right.
And it came to pass, when Jeroboam the son of Nebat,
Right.
who was yet in Egypt, heard of it, for he was fled from the presence of King Solomon, and Jeroboam dwelt in Egypt, that they sent and called him, and Jeroboam and all the congregation of Israel came and spake unto Rehoboam,
Right.
Rehoboam, saying, thy father made our yoke grievous.
Right. So Rehoboam, being Solomon's son, he's now put in the throne. He's installed into the throne while his father passes away. So you got Rehoboam, southern kingdom, Jeroboam, northern kingdom. They're both running the kingdoms, right? The kingdom is split, and so they're running the different kingdoms. So the people come to Rehoboam and say, look, man, your daddy, Solomon, your papa, he had us under a real heavy yoke. These taxes was kind of crazy. This workload was insane. We need you to ease up. If you ease up, you'll have us for life. Go ahead.
Verse 4. First Kings chapter 12, verse 4.
Uh-huh.
Thy father made our yoke grievous.
Right?
Now therefore, make thou the grievous service of thy father and his heavy yoke, which he put upon us, lighter, and we will serve thee.
Yeah, just lighten the load and we'll serve you. Go ahead.
And he said unto them, depart yet for 3 days, then come again to me. And the people departed. And King Rehoboam consulted with the old men.
So he goes to the old men, which was the smart thing to do. You go to the elders, you go to the old men, you go to the men that your father would have been advised by and counseled by. Go ahead, because kings had advisors and they had counselors. They didn't just make decisions. If they did, that's kind of a bad king, right? Those kings made a lot of mistakes. Read.
And King Rehoboam consulted with the old man that stood before Solomon his father, while he yet lived.
Go ahead.
And said, how do ye advise that I may answer this people? And they spake unto him, saying, if thou wilt be a servant unto this people this day, and will serve them, and answer them, and speak good words to them, then they will be thy servant forever.
Right, if you want the people forever, just speak good words to them, look out for them, lighten that load a little bit, and they'll be with you forever. This is what the advice of the old men was. Go ahead.
Verse 8. But he forsook the counsel of the old men.
He did what?
Forsook the counsel of the old men,
Go ahead.
which they had given him, and consulted with the young men that were grown up with him, and which stood before him. And he said unto them, what counsel give ye that we may answer this people, who has spoken to me, saying, make the yoke.
That's it on that. That's it on that. So he forsook the counsel of the old men and took the words of his peers. Now, obviously the scriptures don't go into it about how it all went down and whatever little convo. But why would you forsake the words of the wise old men that helped your father to take the words of the homies? Well, there had to have been some type of feeling towards those men, some type of pressure to appease them, right? Because what was their advice? Read verse 10 real quick. What was their advice?
Verse 10.
Uh-huh.
Verse King chapter 12, verse 10. And the young men that were grown up with him spake unto him, saying, Thus shalt thou speak unto this people that spake unto thee, saying, Thy father made our yoke heavy, but make thou it lighter unto us. Thus shalt thou say unto them, My little finger shall be thicker than my father's loin.
Yeah, like these young dudes came vulgar, right? They came just like young men do. They came with that young, ignorant, no compassion, disrespectful. These are some YNs right here. These are the first YNs, right? These are the first YNs right here, right? But you can see the difference in the advice. And remember, Rehoboam is a YN. He a youngster. And so who is he going to succumb to? Whose pressure is he going to feel more? He's going to feel the pressure of his peers. Now, what's cold about this is, even though Rehoboam is the leader, he's actually being led by bad advice. So he's allowing himself to be an underling to foolish men. So we're seeing that peer pressure will allow you, no matter what position you're in, peer pressure can drop you down a few tiers when you start to follow the advice of foolish people. Doesn't matter what status. He was the king. And he's following young dudes that ain't got no position. Think about that. They ain't got no position. So why would you even go to advice for them? Or go to them for advice? See, these are the things you gotta ask, and these are the things where now when it's time to actually be a leader, this is who you look at. To say, wait a minute, is my leader going to the YNs for the advice, or is he actually got an elder? Does he have somebody above him, right, in tenure or in wisdom that he goes to? Because that's a lot of the problem inside of our nation. Even today, we got the YN Rehoboam syndrome, right? It's Rehoboam syndrome. Young dudes going to young dudes thinking that they're going to take over the world. Now, there's nothing wrong with the young. There's nothing wrong with young men. But the scriptures say, let no man despise thy youth, but give attendance to doctrine, to reading, to exhort. So there's a protocol that has to be done for your youth not to come into play. But a lot of brothers ain't following no protocol. That's the problem. A lot of young men don't follow a protocol, because ain't that the thing with YNs? They know that there's a protocol, but then they step out the bounds and follow their own protocol.
Right.
You just an OG. You a unk and what is it? YNs, unks, and OGs? Is there one more that I'm missing?
Big homies.
And big homies. Right. So the YNs is like 0 to 17. Right? And then what's next? The big homies is 18 to 21?
Like 25.
18 to 25. Damn. All we got left is Unk and OG. So Unks is over 25?
Because technically, if you're from the hood, you're not supposed to make it past 21.
Oh, wow.
If you do, that's like a big achievement.
Right, so you a Unk. At 25, you a Unk.
It's saying right here that YNs are 13 to 24.
Oh, okay, YN's 13 to 24. They got a doctrine on this.
Yeah, big bros are 25 to 35.
All right, that's the big homie. Go ahead.
And the unks are 36 to 48.
So I'm a Unk. Unk.
Nah. What?
Yeah, he a Unk. She a auntie. What, you a auntie?
I'm a OG.
Nah, you're not an OG. It said 48.
And then the
past
OGs,
48.
OGs are 49 to 60 plus.
I'm OG.
So you OG.
OG, baby.
Yeah.
Triple OG, OG.
Yeah, but what does that mean if you don't follow the OGs? What does it matter? Like, why they got a breakdown?
That's crazy.
If they don't even follow it.
I never heard such a thing.
Because an OG used to be respect. Oh, that's the OG. That's the OG. Don't disrespect the OGs.
Yeah.
There used to be a
That's
code
crazy.
that the OGs was the ones you would go to for the knowledge,
Mhm.
right? But now the OGs is the one that you disrespect. But it's not a new thing that we see. It's just a secular thing. It's a cycle where in 20 years they're gonna be respecting OGs again.
Mhm.
And then in 20 more years after, they're gonna be disrespecting OGs again. It's gonna be by YNs. We see it here. Rehoboam, he went to the YNs, right? And he disregarded the O heads, the unks. Why? Because the pressure of your peers will make you forget your own position. That's crazy. He was the king.
Man.
How come he didn't come up with his own wisdom? Because he didn't have it. So he was better off following the O heads.
Nothing new under the sun.
Right? Or I'm gonna say what the Bible say, the elders. Right? The elders, right?
The OGs.
Well, I say elders because
The elders.
we know it's OGs in the streets,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
So we got that instance, and then you could also put in there the instance with Samson and Delilah in your notes, just peer pressure. Samson and Delilah, and there's other scriptures. You know, there's other stories. You know how it go, man. You start talking, and all of a sudden the instances pop into your head. Right? Wow.
She said I'm an OG auntie.
Oh, well, can you be an OG and an auntie at the same time? They're two different categories. That's hilarious. YNs is crazy. They YNs. Yeah, they was YNs.
OG
Big-
and
big
triple
bro.
OG.
I thought it was Big Homie. Oh, it's Big Bro. Okay, the Big Brother program. Cool. Okay, what's another reason why people follow foolish men or make themselves an underling to foolish men or become that foolish man? He said it. Material. Who said material gain? Right, material gain. That's one of the biggest ones. It's one of the biggest reasons why people will follow foolishness. Is to just get some bread.
Mm.
It's for gain. Filthy lucre. Right? Something filthy, some filthy pockets.
Position, influence.
Yeah, position, influence. But it's to gain something that they didn't have.
Mhm.
And it's never really spiritual.
Mm.
Because if it was spiritual, you wouldn't follow the fool. You'd say, no, you're a fool. I can't follow you to get anything spiritual.
Mhm.
I'm going to follow the righteous. It never be like that. It's always, let me follow the dummy. Joe Donut Brain, right? Let me follow him. And because all he can promise is something carnal, right? That's all he can promise. That's all he can fulfill. And even then, it's sketchy. Because a fool is going to lie to you. A fool has always got his way to circumvent and trick his way out of the situation. So a fool can't really be trusted. So it's like, why do I trust a fool? Why do I trust these type of men? Why do I entrust my spirit, my body to these type of people, knowing that, man, he might not come through on his word anyway, because he's a fool. So material gain, go to Judges. Judges 18. OG, triple OG, triple triple.
Oh, man.
Yeah, what's up, OG, triple OG, triple triple to the third power? That's from is that from South Central? OG, triple O? No. What did they say in South Central when they pull up on the OGs? They was like, come on, man, y'all remember South Central?
I remember South Central,
With
but I'm,
Bobby?
yeah.
Yeah, he's
I
like,
need to rewatch that.
OG, triple OG.
yeah, huh?
He's dead. OG, triple OG.
Yeah, he's like, what's up, OG, triple O? Yeah, he started dancing with his fingers. Right?
All I remember was like OG call, I'm keeping them.
Yeah, it's like, man, they started stacking on it. Bro, that dude was crazy. Them dirty ass Converse. Oh, my bad. Salaki. My fault. You know how we notice people's shoes. My bad. They at least gave him some clean chucks. No, he had on some Cortezes.
Probably
Probably
Cortez.
both. He probably had on
think
one
he had
Cortez
one
on
Chuck.
one shoe, and one Chuck on the other. The ultimate West Coaster. Right? Left foot Chuck, right foot Cortez. OG Bobby Johnson. You know what I'm saying? What's up, OG, triple OG? Right? OG Bobby Johnson.
Cortezes are uncomfortable.
Huh?
I had a pair of Cortezes, they's uncomfortable.
Hey, they was comfortable with somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody was running track in them mugs. Somebody was popping, doing 100 sprint. Let's go to Judges 18 and verse 15, and let's deal with this instance.
Verse 15?
Judges 18 and 15. Yep. And so I'll give you guys a little bit of backstory. Go ahead, read that.
Judges chapter 18, verse 15.
Right. So this is the Ephraimite Micah, right? What does he do? He makes his sons priests. Mind you, he's an Ephraimite. He makes his sons priests. He's kicking in one day. He runs into a Levite. He's like, hey, if you come be a priest for me, I got you. Clothes, shoes, food. Right? Go ahead, read where we at.
Judges chapter 18, verse 15.
So now that he does that, and if you need to go back to the book of Dan, what happens is, or the book of Judges, what happens is the tribe of Dan is now looking for a little bit more of their land allotment. So they send a few men up north. And while they sliding through, they run into Micah. They come to Micah's house. And they kicking it. And they're like, wait a minute, he got a priest? Well, we need a priest. Cause we about to go to our new land, and we gotta have the Lord on our side. Mind you, this man Micah, or Micah, excuse me, not Micah, but Micah, he wasn't doing righteous works. He literally had idols of silver and gold and made his own ephod out of silver, right? And made a bunch of idols and different things that they were worshiping inside of his house. So this Levite that he got wasn't Leviting for the Lord. He was Leviting for Baal. Baal Zebub, Baal Peor. I believe it was like Baal Safan or something like that, that he was Leviting for, that he was being a priest for. So read now, when the Danites come, what do? Come on, read.
Judges chapter 18, verse 15. And they turned thitherward, and came to the house of the young man, the Levite,
Right?
even unto the house of, what do you say, Micah?
Micah. Micah. Oh, it is Micah.
Micah,
Salaki.
and saluted him.
Yep, same
And-
Micah. Yep. Not the same prophet Micah, just the same name.
Okay.
Man, this is an Ephraimite, right? It's not the prophet Micah, because this is a totally different time frame anyway, but it's a different man. The names, men had the same names, right? Don't get it twisted. Go ahead.
Verse 16. And the 600 men appointed with their weapons of war, which were of the children of Dan.
Right, so 600 men left from the south where Dan's original land was, and they went up. They were going up, and they meet into this Ephraimite. They meet into this Ephraimite's man's house. Go ahead.
Stood by the entering of the gate.
Go ahead.
And the 5 men that went to spy out the land went up and came in thither, and took the graven image and ephod and the teraphim and the molten image.
So he had all types of images and graven images. Go ahead.
And the priest stood in the entering of the gate with the 600 men that were appointed with weapon of war.
Right. Go ahead.
And these went into Micah's house and fetched the carved image, the ephod, and the teraphim and the molten image. Then said the priest unto them, what do ye?
Yeah, what are y'all doing, man? Why are y'all grabbing this stuff up? Go ahead.
And they said unto him, hold thy peace, lay thy hand upon thy mouth.
Yeah, like, bro, shut up. Basically, that's what the Danites said to this Levite man. You don't want no smoke, just be quiet. Go ahead.
And go with us, and
just come with us. Be our priest. Go ahead.
And be to us a father and a priest.
Come on.
It is better for thee to be a priest unto the house of one man, or that thou be a priest unto a tribe and a family in Israel.
See that? Is it better for you to be a priest to one man, or is it better for you to be a priest to a whole tribe? So, what are they playing on? Emotions. It's another E word.
Emotions?
It's another E word. He said emotions too. It's his ego.
Oh.
It's ego. Starting to mess with his ego. Oh, damn. One man compared to a whole tribe. I'll take the whole tribe for 500, Alex. Why? Because now I could be looked at as something from a lot of different eyes, other than just one family. 5 people think I'm dope, but now I got 500 people thinking I'm dope. Remember, Dan was the second largest tribe in the nation at this time. Only 600 men went up at this point. They left the rest down south. So imagine, he like, damn, tribe of Dan, huge tribe. These cats is fighters. They know how to brawl. I could be their priest and I could come up. Go ahead.
Verse 20. And the priest heart.
Right, Magun said it. I keep saying Magun. Bakar said it. Bakar, you got to change your damn email. You got to change your username. Every time I see it, I feel like it's Magun. Bakar said it. Ego. They were playing to his ego. Go ahead.
Verse 20. And the priest's heart was glad, and he took the ephod and the teraphim and the graven image and went.
Now this is the cold part. The cold part about it is if you read the previous chapter, he basically broke the deal that he was contracted for. Even though they was all wicked, everybody was off, right? He still made a deal with Micah to be the priest and that he would provide for him and do all these different things. And so just the thought of being able to have a lot of other eyes looking at you, ego being boosted up. He said, you know what? Forget about what you're talking about. I'm going to slide over here. Go ahead.
And went in the midst of the people. So they turned and departed and put the little ones and the cattle and the carriage before them.
What verse you at?
22.
22. Oh, whoa. Well, that's it on that, right? So let's go to 1 Samuel 22 and 6. Because we're just dealing with gain. So what did this Levite priest gain? Well, he gained more followers. He gained the ability to minister to more people. Even though it wasn't a righteous situation and they was doing damn idol worship, it still stands that what? First of all, they was all idol worshipers. You about to follow these Danites, they're huge idol worshipers. You following this guy Micah, he's an idol worshiper. So you can see here, this fool and underling is like a revolving door where 1 minute you're the fool, the next minute you're the underling, and you can be both. You can be a fool and an underling at the same time. Because truthfully, if you're following a foolish man and you're underneath them doing foolish things, then you are a fool. You're a fool and an underling. So the Levite priest was a fool and an underling. Yeah. Right? There's always somebody above the underling, but there's an underling to the underling. And an underling to the underling. There's an overling. Right? There's always somebody above, and you could have, listen, foolishness don't stop because it's going up. Right? Foolishness, there's always going to be leaders. And like, look at Donald Trump, Donald J. Trump. This guy is the fool of fools, and he's actually an underling. Why? He's an underling to Israel. This nigga got drugged into a war that had nothing to do with this country on the behalf of another country that all they're trying to do is get, listen, if y'all don't know what Israel's ultimate goal is, it's to take all the land inside the region and to be the #1 country in the region. In order for them to be the #1 country in the region, who do they got to get out the region?
Everyone else?
Who's everyone else? Who's the #1 country in the region? It's a good question, huh?
God.
Who's the #1 country in the Middle East? It's America. America is the #1 country in the Middle East. So in order for Israel to be #1 and fulfill their Islamic State Zionist regime goals, America ain't part of that. America is the goy. America is the goyim that they'll go into the Torah and say is going to be their slave. So America is not part of the Israeli agenda. So they got to get America out there. So what's the best way to get America out of the way? Distract them with war. Get them to fight your war. Get them to waste their money. Get them to run through their missiles. Get them to run through their troops. Israel ain't putting troops on the ground, but America is. These niggas is throwing jump out boys into the sky. They're gonna just jump out the sky out of a plane into Iran. Like, bruh. Yeah. Nobody's ever even seen Iran. Like, what are we doing? Nobody's ever seen Iran. But you about to send a whole battalion, jump out. They jump at paratroopers. They jump out planes and land into areas. You ain't gonna see them dudes ever again. As soon as they jump, just go ahead and get the flags, the U.S. flags folded up for them. That's a wrap.
Wow.
You ain't never see. They ain't coming back. How they gonna get them back? When they jump out the plane, where they gonna get them back from? They can't. If you gotta do the jump out boys out the airplane, that means you can't land in that country as hostile. It's too hostile to land. So how you gonna do a safety zone, a pickup zone to pick anybody up? That's a one-way mission.
Saving Private Ryan Part 2.
No, Normandy. It's about to be worse. It's about to be worse than Saving Private Ryan. They said it's about to be worse than when they invaded. What was it? They tried to invade somewhere, and they got waxed. America just got waxed. It was like 8 square miles. They just got beat up and down the coastline. The point is, America is an underling to Israel. You're being drug around like a dog by the nose. Drug into this war, drug into this situation. You know how much money America pays Israel? And Israelis, how much money they pay them? And how much, you know how much government influence Israel has on American government? How many politicians they bid for the Jewish state? Y'all just don't know how deep it goes. Where America is like Israel Part 2. That's it. And they just using Trump to do the bidding. He looking stupid. They got a deal. Man, Iran, like, nigga, we ain't, like, who you negotiating with? Because it ain't been us. Like, we reject your deal, right? You got 15-point deals to get peace in the Middle East. Iran said we need 5 things to happen before we stop bombing y'all. Now, what did Trump say? Trump said exactly what the scripture said. Trump said we're going to unleash hell on the Iranians. Didn't the Bible say that Esau, it says he expand his borders like hell? Didn't it say that? Yeah. So if this man ain't what the Bible say he is, I don't know what to tell y'all. But what we're seeing, if you just watch the geopolitical news, if you watch what's going on, you ain't got to be that smart or that in-depth into geopolitical information or the news. But if you understand the relationship between Israel and America, Israel got America doing its bidding and putting themselves out there. But it's going to weaken this place where Israel can become now the top contender in the Middle East. You can't deny it. No matter where America goes, they're #1. because they have the technology and they have the weaponry. Bottom line. Bottom line, they're number one, regardless. Right? And if they want to nuke you a bazillion times over, there's nothing you can do about it. They got more ships, they got more guns, they got more planes. They might not have more bodies. Right? They got the intel. They're number one, no matter where they go when it comes to military tactics, because they're the most cold-hearted. They'll blow your house up with all your kids in it, your whole generations. They don't care just to get one target. They blow the whole compound up. So they're most ruthless also, because they don't care. Right? But this is what we're seeing. Like, we're seeing this underling to a fool on high levels and on low levels. We see it throughout the Bible with our people on a lot of high levels, even the kings, right? But then we got to look inside of our own lives and say, well, am I allowing myself to be an underling in a situation to a foolish man, or am I being that foolish man that's leading other foolish people, right? So where we at?
First Samuel.
First Samuel 22 and verse 6. So we're going to deal with, so the first, so material gain. So material gain, right? And then you should have put Micah, the Levite and the Danites. That way you understand what that little bulk of scriptures was for. Then the next bulk of scriptures is the servants of Doeg the Edomite. The servants of Doeg the Edomite. 1 Samuel 22 and verse 6. Read that.
First Samuel 22, verse 6.
Uh-huh.
When Saul heard that David was discovered.
Right, so this is David on the run. He's moving around. He's hiding. Go ahead.
And the men that were with him. Now Saul abode in Gibeah under a tree in Ramah, having his spear in his hand, and all his servants were standing about him. Then Saul said unto his servants that stood about him, Hear now, ye Benjamites.
Here now, you stubborn. Come on. That's like another word for Benjamite, is stubborn. Salaki. Go ahead.
Will the son of Jesse give every one of you fields and vineyards,
Right.
and make you all captains of thousands and captains of hundreds?
So here, what is Saul doing? He's playing to men's what? Lusts, their wants, their egos. Damn, I could be a captain? Oh, snap. You know what? We got to get David. Oh, damn, I get vineyards and fields. Damn, because I was looking at that corner lot. I was looking at that corner lot the other day, man. I want that corner lot. Oh, it got a lot of sunlight that be hitting, and they got a little pond that slides through it too. Keep everything watered. Go ahead.
That all of you have conspired against me,
Right.
and there is none that sheweth me that my son had made a league with the son of Jesse.
Right. So what is Saul pissed off at? That no one is unveiling any plan that David and Jesse made. Oh, not David and Jesse. David and Jonathan, right, has made. He's trying to figure out, why is David able to escape? Who's helping him out? Y'all got to be helping him. Y'all got to be conspiring. Y'all should be helping me, because why? I can give you the things you need. I can make you a captain. I can give you land. Go ahead.
And there is none that of you that is sorry for me,
Right.
or sheweth unto me that my son has stirred up my servant against me, to lie in wait as at this day.
Uh-oh. Read on.
Then answered Doeg the Edomite.
The what?
The Edomite.
Doeg was a what?
The Edomite.
It's always a damn white man. Always the white man coming out of nowhere trying to interfere in black folks' business, dude. It's the problem. We let foolish men enter into our business. And then what do they end up doing? They end up leading the situation because of what they want. Because they see the infighting in between us, they know when to step in and say, you know what? I got this. It's the same thing that the Edomites did with the Battle of Peloponnesia, right? They sat back and watched two nations fight. let them beat each other to a pulp, stepped in and became one of the nations. Beat them and became them. Yep. That's the Peloponnesian War. That's how Philip and them, right? Philip the Macedonians. That's how they became. Anyway, that's a different topic. But that's how they adopted that Edomite Greek lifestyle. They let the two nations fight. One survived, they beat them down, then they just took on their identity. The sister said it, culture vultures. Yep, think about a vulture. They say culture versus vulture, right? A vulture eats the worst part of the meat that's already dying and decaying. And that's what they do to us. They take the worst parts of our culture and acerbate them and try to make it look good. Right? They try to make it look good and it's not. Read where you at.
Which was said over the servants of Saul.
Right.
I said, I saw the son of Jesse coming to Nob, to Ahimelech, the son of Ahitub. And he inquired of the Lord for him.
See, here go Doeg snitching. He's a snitch. Yeah, I seen him slide over here. You know, he was doing this and talking to this person, and I don't know what they was talking about, but they was talking. Go ahead.
I gave him victuals.
Yeah, he gave him. I saw him hand him a little sack full of food. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
I gave him the sword of Goliath.
Yeah, I see them hand him that sword too, man. He got him the glizzy. Right? He got him the pole. Got him armored up. Go ahead.
The Philistine. Then the king said to call Ahimelech the priest, the son of Ahitub, and all his father's house, the priests that were not. And they came all of them to the king. And Saul said, Hear now, thou son of Ahitub. And he answered, Here I am, my lord. And Saul said unto him, Why have ye conspired against me, thou and the son of Jesse, in that thou hast gave him bread and a sword, and hast inquired of God for him?
You even praying for him, man. You even asking the Most High for safe passage? What is this? Saul was pissed. Go ahead.
That he should rise against me to lie in wait as at this day. And then Ahimelech answered the king and said, And who is so faithful among all thy servants as David, which is the king's son-in-law, and goeth at thy bidding, and is honorable in thine house?
See, now remember, when David went to the priest, he didn't tell him that he was on the run from Saul. He just said that he was sent on a mission that he couldn't speak about. So the priest, this man don't know that he was going against Saul. He didn't know that. So he's like, look, David is your servant. That's what I know. If I'm looking out for him, I'm looking out for you, king. Right? Wouldn't that be the thought?
Yeah.
So he wasn't trying to be an underling to a fool. He was trying to be an underling to a righteous man. Because he's doing the right thing. He's saying, look, Saul, you the king. You send David. He does your bidding. I was trying to set him up to make sure he was good for whatever journey you had him on. Go ahead.
Did I then begin to inquire God for him? Be it far from me. Let not the king impute anything unto his servant, nor to all the house of my father. For thy servant knew nothing of all this.
See that? I didn't know anything. Go ahead.
Less or more.
That's all I knew. I was helping out David, and he was your son-in-law. He's your son-in-law, and he's your most faithful servant. Go ahead.
And the king said, Thou shalt surely die, Ahimelech, thou and all thy father's house. And the king said unto the footmen that stood about him, Turn and slay the priests of the Lord, because their hand also is with David, and because they knew when he fled, and did not shew it to me. But the servants of the king would not put forth their hand to fall upon the priests of the Lord.
See that? So the servants of the king was like, hell no. The priests? We ain't doing that.
That answers Yashar's question.
That answers Yashakar's question. There's certain lines you just don't cross, homie. And these men knew it. They wasn't riding with Saul on this. They wasn't riding with Saul. I think what it is it's a matter of I'd rather die being faithful to the Most High than live in sin being faithful to some stupid ass man. Because that's what it boils down to. We're seeing what is that underling? It's not just work that you do with your hand, it's your morality. This is what we spoke about last week. So we're seeing men of morality here. Even though Saul is commanding them and he's the king, they're like, bro, we ain't doing that. The priests? The Most High will have us destroyed way worse. Fear not him that can kill the body. Fear him that can kill the body and the soul in hell. See that? That's where these men were. They're not on following foolishness. They stood up. They were like, nope. It's just like when you watch Training Day. And Lonzo was like, somebody murked this fool. And old buddy walks up. He got the revolver and he put it down. He said, you got to put in your own work out here, homie. Jake, need that money, Jake. Right? He's like, somebody murked this fool. And he walked up like he was about to do it, right? And he said, you got to put in your own work, homie.
Yep. Wow.
They were no longer going to be an underling to a foolish man because they saw his corruptness. They saw his foolishness. In his foolishness, what was he doing to even those gang members? Talking about Lonzo from Training Day. He was abusing them.
Yep.
He was little man in them. He was son of them. Pelican Bay. 23-hour lockdown. Shoe program. Put cases on all you. Right? He thought he could continue to sun them because he had the upper hand. But they finally stood up and said, nah, it's the same thing here. It's like, yo, you ain't gonna sun us. We ain't doing that. Go ahead.
And the king said to Doeg, turn thou.
So he had to go to a lesser man. Damn Edomite, snitch, nosy, underling.
Lower standards.
Lower standards. Underling. No morality. No code. No code for human life. No code for the innocent. Didn't want to hear what the priest. Why would the priest lie? He gave a good reason, like, look, I thought he was just doing what you were asking him to do. And so, in me obeying David, I'm obeying you, king. Because then it would have been like, why didn't you give David the sword and the bread? I sent him.
Yeah.
Off with his head. Well, I know you sent him. You see how that can go either way? So Saul should have been more reasonable and said, you know what? I see where you're coming from. You're actually a faithful servant. I'm going to spare you and I'm going to go about my business. But you know what? Me and David got beef. I ain't rocking with him right now. If he come back through, let me know. That's how he should have handled that. Right? But what is Saul led by? What is he an underling to? Let's see if y'all get it. What is he led by in this situation with David? What is he the underling to?
I want to say jealous.
Okay, what else?
That's what I was saying.
What was he rocking with? It said he had an evil spirit on him. So it didn't tell you what evil spirit, right? But he had an assortment of evil coursing through his veins. So jealousy, envy, pride, hatred for your own brother, right? He was being led by sin, by his flesh. He was an underling to his flesh, his fleshly desires. And so he was being led about, and then he was leading about sinful men of no morality, like Doeg the Edomite. What was he again? Doeg the what?
The Edomite.
Right. Doeg, huh?
The Edomite.
Right, I just want to make sure that that's on the record. One more time. Doeg the who?
The Edomite.
Right, so it wasn't the Israelites that killed the priest. It was Doeg the Edomite that was like, I got this. And you know, those lands that you were promising everybody, and that captainship,
I'm gonna need that.
I'm gonna need those. I'm gonna need that in writing first. You know, Esau ain't doing nothing without putting it in writing. Put that in writing, and I'm gonna go do my thing. Read.
Turn thou and fall upon the priest. And Doeg the Edomite turned and he fell upon the priest.
Right, they said it. His pride, emotions, feminine behavior. Yeah, he was, all of that was leading this man, Saul. You gotta watch that, what is it? Son of David, what is it? On Amazon?
House of David.
House of David.
Oh, yeah.
Saul got them demons on him? Oh, that thing
yeah.
was crazy. He got them demons on him, bro. Golly.
Yes, sir.
He turned into a straight, just, he's turned into a straight up demon.
Yeah.
Right? Go ahead.
And slew on that day fourscore and 5 persons that did wear a linen ephod.
Yeah, you couldn't have no care for the priesthood, no care for the Most High to slay his priests. Right? What verse was that?
Verse 18.
Did you finish it?
Come.
Right. So we see it's about gain, right? Material gain. Doeg wanted to gain from Saul. You do something for the king like that, you got him in your back pocket by way of a favor that you owe me. Let's deal with Abimelech. Go back to Judges. Let's go back to Judges real quick and let's deal with Abimelech. Now remember, the name Abimelech is used multiple times in the scriptures too. This is not Abimelech, the king in Egypt during Abraham's time. This is Abimelech, the son of Gideon in the time of Judges. Two different men. Same name. So let's read this situation in Judges. You're going to read Judges chapter 9 and verse 1.
Come. Book of Judges, chapter 9 and verse 1.
Right?
And Abimelech, the son of Jerubbaal,
Right. Jerubbaal or Gideon, same person, dead.
went to Shechem
He went to Shechem. Come on.
unto his mother's brethren.
Right, because Gideon has passed away. How many sons did Gideon have?
70.
He has 70. He had 69 sons, right, from the Israelite, and then he had the one son from some non-Israelite woman, right?
God.
Right. Abimelech is the one son from the non-Israelite woman. Go ahead.
And communed with them, and with all the family of the house of his mother's father.
So he went. So he comes in the town. He goes into the house of his mother's father. He goes to his grandpa's house, mama's daddy, his grandpa. Go ahead, Paul. Go ahead.
Saying, speak, I pray you, in the ears of all the men of Shechem,
Right.
whether it's better for you either that all the sons of Jerubbaal, which are 70 persons,
Right.
reign over you,
Right.
or that one reign over you. Remember also.
So, do you want Gideon's other sons to reign over you, all 70 of them, or me? Or excuse me, all 70 of us fighting for this throne, or do you want just me to get the throne? Now, what does the throne represent? What comes with the throne? What does it represent?
Power or rulership?
Rulership. What else? Power. What else? Money, power, respect, what you need in life. What else? When you got the throne,
Inheritance.
inheritance. What else? You get all the men's and women's. Right? Remember what it tells you about the king? It say he'll take your sons to plow his fields and be in his military. He'll take your daughters for confectionaries. He'll take your fields. He'll take your horses. So the being a king represents gain. You get to gain a lot, and you get to gain it from the people that you're ruling over. It equals subordination. But it also, to a good king, it represents servitude. Because when we read in Samuel about Rehoboam going to the elder men for wisdom, they said, if you will serve this people and do this and speak well and do this, then what? They'll be with you for life. So the kingship can represent different things to different people. If you a fool, oh man, money, hoes, and clothes, guns and butter, right? Slab, got my slab, slow, loud, and banging. I'm doing all that. Right? What's another one? What's another cardinal one? Get rich or die trying. It represents all that mentality that niggas live off of today, right? Money, cars, money, clothes, and all the nigga know. I said that one.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, it represents gain on a carnal level, where if we look at a man like Solomon, he prayed for wisdom to be able to rule the people and got the gain, right? So to a fool, being a king is something else than it is to a righteous man. To a righteous man is a responsibility. It's actually a daunting responsibility that you have to set up prayers for and ask the Most High to guide you. To a foolish man that just cares about golden scepters and drinking out of a nice mug, I got my what is it? My chalice.
Pimp cup.
Got my pimp cup. Yeah. To a nigga that just want a pimp cup, it's easy. You gonna get the cup. You gonna get the wine in the cup. You gonna drink all day, all night. You're gonna misjudge, misrule, not handle things. The kingdom is gonna go to the wayside. This man Abimelech is like, yo, I want to rule. I know what I'm about to get. I know what's in store. And I'm the son of Gideon. Come on. As many things as Gideon did for the people, I get to benefit off of Gideon's works. Go ahead. What verse are you at?
Verse 3.
Go ahead.
And his mother's brethren spake of him.
Right. Influence. Haitian priest. I'm assuming that's Shabbat. Influence, right? He said influence. The throne, sister Kalia, right? Power and control. Yeah. Now you can have power and control without thinking about power and control. Deal with the people right. Speak to them nicely. Judge matters fairly. Right? We think that being a ruler or being a leader means yelling and screaming and what the F's and looking at people crazy and downtrodden people and browbeating. No, that's not what being a leader is. Right? We talked about this the other day, right? Like you don't have to belittle anybody to be a leader to them. You don't have to make people feel uneasy because you're the leader. You step in and everybody all of a sudden is on eggshells because you're the leader. That's crazy. That's not to me, that's not good leadership. Because you're feared and that's it. It's just fear. Right? We're supposed to respect each other regardless of, remember, the law is for the lawless, so rank is for niggas that don't respect nothing. Right? Yeah. Rank and all that stuff is for brothers and sisters that have no respect for brothers and for anything going on. So you gotta, I respect. Hey sis, please be in respect. Right? But we shouldn't have to be on that level of, this is where I'm at and this is where you're at. And you're just a subordinate. That's crazy.
Yeah, the person that's feared is because they have that certain level of power. And then when that power starts to weaken or diminish and someone sees an opening, they're like, oh, I'm going to take this. I'm going to take him. Versus if it's that person that's respected and loved, it's like, oh, he might be getting weaker, but I still respect him as the leader. I'm not going to just transgress this dude because he's in a weakened state.
Yeah. And even though he is getting weaker physically, he's still strong spiritually. You see it all the time. People underestimate a man because he's laid back, because he don't speak loud and crazy, because he's not the loudest, because he ain't the most boldest, because he ain't just going in. People underestimate that, and they underestimate incorrectly. Because leadership does not mean like I like my tone of voice, and because I can give you a certain tone of voice and overtalk you or I don't even know what word I'm looking for. Right? Just shut up because I say so. No. Right? A leader ain't got to say shut up because I say so. He got the respect of the people because of how he deals. And that's the difference, right? So we see here what? This man, he wants something. He's going to the people. You rather these men or me? Read on.
In the ears of all the men of Shechem, all these words,
Right?
and their hearts inclined to follow Abimelech. For they said, he is our brother.
Right?
And they gave him 70 pieces of silver out of the house of Baal Berith.
Berith. Ugh. Damn. Baal Berith. Right? They went up inside the idol's house and got him a couple of pieces of silver. Go ahead.
Wherewith Abimelech hired vain and light persons.
Wait, he did what?
Hired vain and light persons.
Yeah, he got vain and light persons. Because nobody with any real mental capacity, spiritual acumen was going to fold to Abimelech. Why? Because he wasn't a good man. Right? He went and hired the most vain and light people to follow him. Why? Because anybody with true substance would not have backed him. Go ahead.
Which followed him.
Right?
And he went unto his father's house at Ophrah and slew his brethren, the sons of Jerubbaal.
Yeah, he went out and killed all his brethren, man. Think about it. He got the people on his side just to get the numbers, just to get the money up, just to go be a murderer. Vain and light. Go ahead.
Being 70 persons.
They killed 70 people. Go ahead.
Upon one stone. Notwithstanding, yet Jotham, the youngest son of Jerubbaal, was left, for he hid himself.
Right. You see that? So, fools contracting with fools to do foolish and wicked things, all for gain, all for material, right? And it was all, look, just some silver. That's it, just some silver. Okay, let me see here, because this point is kind of long.
That remind me of in Proverbs 1:10 when it says, "My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not."
Yeah, read it.
I just did.
Oh, you just
Pro-
did.
Proverbs chapter 1:10. My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood, let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause. Let us swallow them up alive as the grave.
And that goes into the peer pressure.
Mm-hmm.
That goes into the doing things for gain. So a lot of these concepts, they kind of melt into each other. It's not just, oh, they were just peer pressured. No, you were peer pressured by something, right? Meaning a person used something to leverage you into doing something. Man, I need, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like old buddy, he was talking about how his son was sick and he had a slip disc. And he went and did some homosexual acts. I mean,
Wait. I mean, so the slip disc, was he saying like
his back was messed up.
he couldn't feel nothing from?
Whoa, no,
That's why
that's crazy.
That's why he went on and
Whoa.
did that.
Well, it don't matter if you can feel it. That's crazy. It don't matter. That's
He's
a
like,
no-no.
I'm useless from the waist down anyways. I might as well use that to.
Wild. That's wild. No, bro. Like, the point is, because this is a whole thing on the internet, and they basically like, is he wrong for doing what he did? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Pause. Yes. He's wrong. There's nothing that should, first of all, if you're dealing in the Most High, he'll never have you compromise in that way to take care of your family.
Mm-hmm.
You never see the righteous begging bread, right? So, obviously you were already in some type of conundrums where now you have to stoop to that level and as a straight man perform homosexuality just to get a little bit of money. But they call it pay for gay.
Huh?
Gay for pay.
Gay for
Gay for pay.
Gay for pay. Yeah, he just so
It was in the Navy.
so on the pier it's queer.
Yes. It's not gay underway.
It's not gay underway, and you can pay for gay.
Come.
Wow.
Pay.
So that's the whole thing. Like he paid for gay. He was paid to be gay. So he's saying, well, no, I'm not gay. He paid me. And I needed the money, and so I did gay things.
Did he go search for the clientele, or the clientele was just there?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Bruh.
The point is, obviously, it was in his spirit already.
Yeah.
What?
That just reminded me of another dude.
There's another dude? Oh,
There's a rapper called 42 Doug.
oh,
And he used to, you know what I'm saying, do some gay stuff to make ends meet.
Dang.
oh, right. They got him on video.
Come.
Yes. He said that he was doing gay pornography to make money. And I'm like, well, why not do, if you don't go to that level, why not just do the straight? But you don't just do something like that because you don't like it. You do something like that because you like it. Yeah. Like, come on. Right? But people will say, oh, the circumstance pushed me or this or that. Or I'm pressured because I got this issue going on and this is the fastest way to come up. I mean, it's more money in the gay industry. Damn. I would imagine. And why do they do that? Because they want more people to embark or disembark, right? They want more people to embark into the industry. They want you to be like, money, morals. Well, that bag is real heavy and my morals is real light. So let me go see what that's, let me go test that out. Let me go see what that's about. I was curious anyway. All that college life, fraternities and frats and what's it? Fraternities and what's the other one? Sororities. Yo, that's a turnout session. They don't care who you lay down with. There's no code on that. Long as you ain't laying down with one of the chicks in the fraternities, man, they don't care. They say you can be a 100% slut after you pledge and you make it. You can be a slut to a man, to a woman. You can just give your body to anybody. There's no, we ain't down with the gay for pay. They down with that. They actually promote it. So I can see where they put more money into the industry because they want people to slide into that industry and do it because of money, right? And that's how you know it's damn evil. When they got to attach a big bag to it, I don't know how much the money is. I've never inquired. But they got a whole thing called gay for pay. Damn. I thought yeah, bro. But this is how they gonna get a lot of brothers to convert over. This is how they gonna get a lot of women to convert over. Because they already promote that lifestyle as what? Gay people got more money because they ain't got the kids and they ain't got the responsibilities and they're more frugal. And they already promote them as having more money. They already promote that lifestyle as a lifestyle that for some reason they always got bread in their pocket, which they kind of always got bread in their pocket. It's crazy. But they ain't dealing with like the common things that a heterosexual couple is dealing with, right? They're not dealing with those things. So either way it goes, they promoted a certain way for you to be pressured and for you to break your morality, right? When Nicki Minaj first came out, she was bisexual. Now she's married with a son to a man that is a registered sex offender. Yep. Yep. So she went from one thing to another.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a registered sex offender. He got hit with a rape case I believe. Yeah. Yep. So they just traded one nasty for the next. Man, I'm trying to contemplate, do I want to go into these other 2 points or do I want to just hold it for the next class? Because these, dang, I didn't know that. So if I go into the next 2 points, we're going to be here until 10 o'clock. Let's see what I got. I have. We got 10 minutes. No, what we'll do is, yeah, they want people to be curious about homosexuality. Of course, but now they're trying to kill your curiosity with a paycheck. Because what's there to be curious about when you can get X amount of money and nobody ain't got to know? Nobody has to know.
Somebody knows.
Somebody knows. I mean, God knows. Right? Ain't that all that matters? But it don't matter to them that the Most High knows.
Yeah, and then they got you recorded somewhere to blackmail you whenever you step out of line.
So I got these 2 points that I want to go over. I kind of just want to.
Or they just want to get some money out of you. Blackmail.
Yeah, it's gonna take longer than 10 minutes to go over these 2 points, and I don't want to drag you. So this is what we're gonna do. So we went over what points so far? Why men and women compromise. We went over what?
Personal gain.
Personal gain. What else?
Pressure.
Peer pressure. What else?
And pragmatic.
And being pragmatic, just doing things that are conducive to the situation. Not that it's conducive in a good way, but that it's whatever. When in Rome, it's like that. When in Rome, be as the Romans. The Romans was nasty. They walked around half naked with little confectionery, little boys as their little toys. They didn't have no God that was righteous. They were unrighteous. So when in Rome, be as the Romans is crazy. But that's that pragmatic spirit of just do whatever, do as thou wilt. Do whatever is good for the time. Yeah, Corey's face says it all. So the other 2 points, this itching ears and the fear of men, right? We could touch on those next week. Itching ears, the fear of men. So it's still gonna be the same class, right? We're gonna hit those other 2 points. The psychology of following, why men compromise and follow bad leaders. So next week we'll touch on the itching ears, the fear of men, and because there's a lot of reading that we got to do. And maybe the lack of knowledge. We'll hit those 3 points. How many points we hit today? 3? Right, so we hit those 3 points. Maybe I'll throw in a 4th for 7. And then we still got to conclude the class. I haven't concluded it yet. So that'll probably be another class. So this will probably be a 4. 1, 2, 3. This will probably be a 4-parter. Yeah. 4-parter. All right, so, is there any questions on the class? Because, we can shut it down early. Is there any questions on the class? Is there anything off or on? Any quick question that we could hit? Like, who is God's God? Who is God's daddy? No, who does God pray to? Yeah, somebody hit me with that real quick. No, please don't. I'm joking. I was just joking. Don't hit me with that. That's crazy.
Somebody asked that for real before.
You'd be surprised. People have asked questions.
Wow.
Some good ones. People have definitely asked them. Join the conversation. Why can't I see the chat? Yeah, so we'll continue this next week. Is there anything? Okay, so we'll end a little bit earlier. We'll end a little bit early. It's all good. If there's nothing else, what's today?
Wednesday.
Right, so remember, there's not gonna be no class Monday. We're not gonna have class Monday or Tuesday. Cause we gotta prep, we gotta do the prep for the Passover, so, we gotta do it right, so yeah. Monday, I mean, it ain't like it's online anyway. The Tuesday, for the brothers and sisters that be watching Facebook, there's not gonna be no class, but we're gonna be doing Passover, EA, Rochester, and here in Houston. All right, so y'all see us back here Wednesday, all right?
Oh, and one more thing.
Yeah, what's up?
The Feast of Unleavened Bread. So if you got bread,
Oh, right.
don't start loading up on more bread. Just go ahead and let what you got kind of taper its way out. So then when it comes to that time to getting rid of the bread, you don't have a lot to get rid of.
Right, Feast of Unleavened Bread would start on April 1st at sundown. So March 31st at sundown is the Passover. April 1st at sundown starts the Feast of Unleavened Bread. 7 days. All right, so if y'all got any questions, y'all can shoot it inside the school chat, or you can just hit us up. March 31st, which is a Tuesday night, Passover, and then Wednesday night at sundown. Wednesday at sundown would start Feast of Unleavened Bread. Cool?
So it has to be the hardest school out.
Who said that? I ain't the hardest. So,
I think that was like on the positive part.
right? All right. With that, we're gonna say shalom.
Shalom.